specifically for educational institutions, but also we cut across all industries, basically. We're involved in trainings and facilitations and promotion of courses, just like the one that you're taking right now. Okay, so once again, thank you for being here. We apologize for the sudden shift in time once again, and we'll get into what we are going to be discussing proper. All right, so
please, I can't hear you well.
you can't hear me at all? Is it you can hear me partly or not at all? Can you hear me right now? Is it better? Hello? Is this peculiar
We
to
can hear
her?
you clearly.
Very clear from my end. I can hear you clearly.
Okay, very
Hear you
clearly.
clearly.
Okay, all
We
right.
should
So
check our volume.
okay, all right. So that's fine. Okay, so this class is talking about digital marketing. Okay, you've been going through several aspects of running your restaurant. So as a restaurant manager, you've been taught a lot about safety, you've been taught a lot about finance, you've been taught a lot about the human resource aspects of things. You've been taught a lot about the customer service aspects of things. And then, of course, now we're going to talk about the digital marketing aspect of things, or the marketing aspect of things. So we know that for every business, a business is boiled down into two things. If I'm to summarize every business that exists on planet Earth, it boils down to two things. Have a product or a service you're offering, and secondly, put it in front of as many people as you can. The more people you can put it in front of, the more clients or customers you're potentially going to get. So the big companies that you see out there, you can see despite the fact that they've become a success, despite the fact that they are making a lot of money already, they never stop advertising. Okay, they never stop. It continues day in, day out. They are looking for how they can expand their markets. They are looking for how many people or more people to put their product or their service in front of. So if you are going to win in your restaurant, or if you are going to be successful in your restaurant, marketing cannot be left out. If you're going to own your own restaurant, or you're going to manage a restaurant, having a digital marketing strategy is important. Now, of course, we've talked about the quality of your product or the quality of your service. Hello, can you hear me? Nsika, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Loud and clear, yeah.
Okay, all right, so that's fine. Okay, so being able to market your product or your service is very, very important. Typically on a particular street, in any given street in Nigeria, for example, you will definitely have several businesses that exist. So if it's a pharmacy, for example, you might discover that on one particular street, you have like 2, 3, 4 pharmacies all vying for the same customers. Or if it's a school, for example, you might find like 3, 4 schools on the same street. Same goes for a restaurant as well, whether big or small. You might discover you might have 2, 3, 4 restaurants along the same street. And one thing with the industry or with business generally is that businesses tend to congregate. Competition tends to spring up once you start in a certain place. So one restaurant opens up at a certain location. Before you know it, you have another one close by. Before you know it, you have 3 or 2 or 5 or 6. So usually there's always competition. You cannot avoid it. You cannot run away from it. It is a fact of life. Whatever business that exists right now, there's always somebody who is going to come up with a similar idea or try to grab the customers that you currently have. So how do you ensure that you are always at the forefront of your customers? That's where digital marketing comes into play. Now, why digital marketing? Now, digital marketing right now is the marketplace that everybody is in, basically. Okay. Moving back a couple of years, of course, people were not so much with their mobile phones, and the mobile phones too were not as sophisticated as they are now. So back in those days, a lot of people, you wanted something, of course, word of mouth, which is still a very valid form of marketing. People discuss and say, oh, this place is very good. They go there, they try the product, and they see what it's all about. But right now, with the advent of the internet and with the advent of mobile phones, I can find out everything I want to know about a business without leaving the comfort of my home. With the issue of logistics now, I can order any food from anywhere, right from the comfort of my home. I don't need to step out to do any of that. I can find out, if I want to find out more about a restaurant, I can go to LinkedIn and find out who are the staff or the workers that work in such a place. I can go to Google and find out what are the reviews of that place. I can go to Facebook and find out what are people saying about this place. I can go to Instagram, I can go to TikTok, I can find out so many things about that restaurant without even leaving the comfort of my room. But if you do not have a presence in any of these platforms, if you are relying solely on word of mouth, then you are shooting yourself in the foot. You are losing an opportunity to increase your customer base. You are denying yourself that opportunity of gaining a reputation. And that reputation is very, very important. This is where branding comes into play. You discover that some companies have advertised themselves so much that they become a household name. Okay, there are some certain terms that we even use, and we've used it so much that it has become a synonymous word with whatever we want to do. So usually when you're talking about noodles, for example, the first thing that comes to your mind is Indomie. And that is not a mistake, it's not an error. It is because of marketing. They've marketed themselves to the point that once you're thinking of noodles, the first thing that virtually comes to your mind is Indomie. And that's the kind of strategy you should have for your business. All right. So I have a slide. So let me see if I can share it. I know quite a number of you may be using your mobile phones. So I do hope you'll be able to see it. But nevertheless, even if you can't, you can also look at it when you are reviewing the content. Okay. So let me share my screen. Okay, so can you all see my screen? And can you hear me still?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, all right. So, all right, thank you. All right, so we're going to be talking about digital marketing for the restaurant business. Now, for me personally, I've had the opportunity to consult for several businesses, and I can tell you nothing works as best as also doing your legwork, but also combining it with digital marketing services. So the most recent client I had was for a company who is into healthcare services, and she provides healthcare trainings for individuals, specifically those that would like to travel out. And you discover that because we added some digital marketing services, or we helped her in marketing her company digitally, she is receiving a lot of clients, she's getting a lot of attention. There are even some senators now who are interested in her business. She's getting foreign, partnerships and all that, because you discover that one of the biggest challenges for people who want to travel out of the country is that they want genuine companies that they can work with, who can virtually guarantee them jobs when they leave the country. Now, because they have a digital presence online, the foreign partners have seen that, and they've seen that, okay, this business seems to be a legit business. If she did not have that digital presence, then there's no way they would actually be able to verify. All right, so this is just a little statistic that we'll start with. We'll discover that 10 Nigerians online food delivery market has reached about $1.4 billion in 2024, and is projected to grow at an annual rate of about 10.4%. Okay, reaching about 2.5 billion by 2033. So we all know that these days it is very easy to order online. Okay, there are a lot of ambitious restaurant owners who are creating logistics around their business. But even if it's something very simple, I will give an example. Currently, I'm based in Abuja, but back then, when I was based in Lagos, I owned a shawarma stand. I had a shawarma stand in Lagos around Computer Village. And even while there, something as simple as being able to send text messages to businesses around and to let them know that, oh, shawarma is ready if they are interested. And people, messaged back and said, okay, bring it to social shop or bring it to social business. And I did quite a lot of good business there. And that is just using SMS. So getting that list, getting that customer database and being able to send out that message, letting people know that, oh, we are here, come and buy from us. Something as simple as that can increase your bottom line exponentially. All right. And now we know that about 84% of people trust online reviews as much as personal recommendations. Okay, I will give another instance. I was in Kaduna for an extended period of time, and I needed a place that I could work, because where I was staying, for some reason, the power was really quite bad. So I needed somewhere that I could relax, eat, as well as also work. And there was a lounge that I Googled and I saw the reviews online, and the reviews were 5-star reviews. And I went there and I spent about a couple of months there, and it was really, really very, very nice, and I enjoyed my time there. Every time I went to work, in fact, they chopped a lot of money from me at that point in time, but that's because I trusted what people said about that restaurant. So putting yourself online is a very key aspect of making your business a success. All right. 45% of Nigerian diners have tried restaurants because of a social media post. Okay, 38% of TikTok users in Nigeria have visited or ordered food from a restaurant after seeing a TikTok video about it. 72% of clients use Facebook to decide on restaurants based on comments and photos shared by others. All right. So if you are going to run a restaurant, let's assume you are going to be hired as one or you are currently working as one. If your restaurant does not have an online strategy, please suggest it to them by virtue of going through this course. Let your presence be put online. People are always on their phones. You know that very well. Okay, people are always on their phones. They're always scrolling through their Facebook. They're scrolling through their TikTok. They're scrolling through YouTube. So not being online is a big minus. Now, for those who are really big organizations, email marketing is very, very important. The biggest companies use email marketing extensively. I'm sure for most of you, you have your emails, and I'm sure once or twice or sometime you have subscribed for something. And if you've noticed, those things you subscribe for, till kingdom come, they will keep on sending you messages. I'm sure if you check your Gmails or your emails, I'm sure there are like thousands of messages, and most of them are coming from the same companies that you subscribed to back then. But you discover that it just takes one day for you to remember, oh, there's something that, okay, I wanted to do, and these people have been sending me messages all this while. Let me quickly check and see what I can do about it. So the biggest companies, they use email marketing. So if you are really running a really big restaurant, then definitely this is something you should look into and you should have. All right. Of course, just as I've said before, 60% of mobile searches or searches on Google are conducted on mobile devices. Individuals especially are increasingly using their mobile phones to order food online. All right. So we've just cut across just some of the statistics concerning, using digital form of media to be able to market your business. So as I said, this does not detract from word of mouth, because we know definitely one of the most effective means of getting clients is through recommendation. Somebody has eaten at your restaurant and he goes and he tells us, the food there is fantastic. That's a very, very powerful way of marketing. But it will make it even more powerful when it is combined with digital marketing services and systems. Okay, so what is digital marketing? It involves promoting your eatery, your services online, using various forms of digital media. The most important thing is to boost your visibility to attract and engage potential customers. Okay, drive reservations, takeout, or delivery orders. If your restaurant does not have a delivery system, that's fine. But I will also say that it is a detriment to your business if you don't have such a thing in place. You might be a small business, fine, that's understandable. You may not be able to afford the logistics or the costs of logistics, but that also reduces the limit of the customers that you have. The whole idea is to be able to scale. So if you can reach more customers quickly, you get more money, it increases your bottom line. All right, so let me give some examples. I've visited Domino's Pizzas, like I'm sure most of you may have. And from the very day that I visited them, they've always been sending me SMSs to say, oh, we have this new promo, we have this, we have that. And the internet is designed in such a way now that once you visit a certain website, somehow that website seems to keep track of you. Let's assume I went to Kunga and I was interested in shoes. Somehow, when I keep visiting pages, I keep seeing advertisements of shoes, following me from page to page to page. It's the same thing with some of these businesses. They've configured their online presence in such a way that they keep track of you. Okay, I'm sure, I don't know if some of you have heard of cookies before. How many of you have heard of cookies? Have you heard of cookies? Usually when you go to a website, they will say,
yes,
please
sir.
accept.
Yes, sir.
They will say, please accept all our cookies. So that cookies that they're asking you to do, it's a tracking mechanism. It's a way to track your behavior online. So that's why virtually every website that you want to register with or sign up with, they will always ask you that question. Okay, they want to keep track of your behavior and be able to keep track of you. All right, so all these are strategies which businesses use to ensure that they always know where you are and know how to get you. Okay, Chicken Republic, they run a lot of Instagram campaigns and they always also partner with a lot of influencers. So if you know people who are influential, okay, all these comedians and all these artists, musicians, actors, if you are lucky enough to know some of them who have a solid presence online, it will be very beneficial of you to partner with them as well to promote your business. Okay, it has a way of bringing in a lot of business to your business. Okay, Burger King engages users with bold Twitter ads and viral marketing. Okay, viral marketing is, of course, definitely once you see a video that has a lot of views, okay, people can capitalize on that to move their business forward. Now, if you're going to do a digital marketing campaign, you need to have an idea of what your target audience is. So who are you targeting? Okay, who are you going to target? Your target audience is the specific group of people most likely to dine at your restaurant. Okay, you need to understand their preferences and helps you tailor your marketing efforts to meet their needs. Okay, when you see billboards that talk about food or restaurants that are advertising, there's a certain kind of people or persons that they are targeting. Okay, Chicken Republic, it seems they try to push themselves off as a family-friendly kind of place. So they really want families to come around. They really want people to come around. So most times their ads usually focus around families. Okay, so there are lots of classifications for the kinds of people you want to come to your restaurant, but it usually falls along these four categories. You have the foodies, people who are just passionate about exploring new dishes, unique dining experiences. Okay, there are some people who just like to hang out. It's like, oh, let's go and try out this place. Let's see what kind of food they have. That people like that. They have families, of course. People just want to go out as a family. They want to, enjoy themselves. And then, of course, the most popular one, of course, are young professionals. Not necessarily just young people, but professionals, basically people who are working. So workers basically who want to take a break. They want a quick place to quickly fall in and just eat and then jump out. There are some who actually want to really relax. Maybe they have an extended break time and they quickly just want a trendy dining option during work. Then of course you have those that are health conscious. A lot of restaurants are not really health conscious and they don't really cater to health conscious people. So most times health conscious people are relegated to cooking their food at home by themselves. Okay, but if you have restaurants who are thinking about the medical needs or the dietary needs of some people, then definitely you would have a certain class of customers as well. Okay, so having your target audience in mind is very, very important. Okay, so having said this, before even mentioning all this, okay, we are even talking about having your basic presence online. So as I said, we design websites. So one of the recent companies that we designed a website for was Lady Bell Restaurant Lounge. That's in Abuja. Restaurant and lounge, Abuja. So having a website is even like step one, okay, of where or how you should actually have some of these things or have a presence online. Okay, so if you don't have one, you should get one. Okay, you should get one because that's usually the first thing that people will check out. Okay, this business exists. Maybe you've heard about it or they are searching for it, or somebody has traveled into a particular state and is now looking for a place and goes online and says, okay, I'm looking for a restaurant near me. Maybe he's in Abuja and he's just looking for something. Now, if you are not online, if you don't have a website, if there's nothing for him to see, then there's definitely no way that you can grab the attention of such a person. Can you still see my screen?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Okay. So can you see the website?
Yes, Lady Bell.
Okay, all right. So this is the website, Lady Bell Luxury Restaurant
Yes.
and Lounge. Okay, you can see. So this is their website. Okay. Took their time out to invite a lot of people. There were some senators there, you know, so it was a big deal, you know, and they made sure that, okay, they had everything set up and, you know, they really launched very well, their digital presence, everything. They have their LinkedIn, they have their TikTok, you know, they really, you know, went out with all gears running. So this is a sign of a restaurant that is really looking forward to making it and sustainable success. Okay, they want a situation whereby everything that concerns them, everybody knows. Okay, they don't have to wait for a third party opinion. They can just go on the website and find out everything. These are all their pricings for their different, you know, for their menu, basically. All right, so this is the sign of a serious business that really wants to succeed, because as I've said before, the competition is stiff. How do you stand out from everybody else? Okay, these are the ways in which you can beat your competition. Then digital marketing relies on data. So if you're just thinking only about, oh, the number of people that come in, the number of people that go out, no, it needs to go more than that. You need to know your customer. Okay, lots of restaurants, most times they don't really care about who comes. Okay, unless the owner of the place is a very outgoing person and really knows how to make friends and is taking their time to really, you know, feel everybody out and know who they are and all that. But how many restaurant owners have that time, or managers even have that time? So try and make it a system where you can factually try to find out more about your customers. Okay, you can have a feedback form. Okay, how does our food taste? In that form, details of the person can also be there. If the person feels it, you know, you'll be able to know more about them so that you know how to cater to their needs. Make it a personalized experience. Okay, that's what everybody is looking for. Everybody wants to feel as if they are the king whenever they come to your, you know, restaurant. They want to know that you really care about them. A lot of times most people eat at a place or go to a certain business not necessarily because of what they can get, but it's because they like that person there. A very good example are all these shops that sell, you know, just the typical shops that they sell everyday household items. That's one of the most, how will I say, spread out businesses in Nigeria. You know, if you go to one street, you can see like 7 shops all selling different things, all your, you know, typical household items, but you discover that the person that you finally be going to is most likely the person that you like. It has happened to me so many times. I come to a particular place, or I move to a particular city. On one street, you have like 15 people who are selling the same thing. The person I will finally decide to be buying from is the person I like. And most likely, once I've selected that person, that's the person I'll be going to always. So when people come to your restaurant, it's not just about the food, it's about the people, it's about the ambience, it's everything combined, that experience the person gets. And that's what will bring people coming back. So it's important that you know this kind of people, you know the people that are coming to your restaurant. So for example, I will give an instance of the lounge that I went to in 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 KD. And because I was somebody who was always with my laptop, you discover that the staff took note of that. So when it came to, okay, where I'm going to plug my phone, ensuring that I have my table ready, their extension box and all that, making sure that the generator was always on and all that, they really
Hello? Hello?
okay. People usually don't change once there's a certain kind of menu that they like. Before they will switch to something else, it's very difficult unless they're just being adventurous. But people tend to stick to what they like and what they already know. So cater strategy around that. Okay, so what are some of the digital marketing channels? Okay, search engine optimization. That's where your website comes into play. For every website that's designed, there are certain things that we place in your website to ensure that when people are searching for restaurants in a certain region, your website is supposed to come out tops. Okay, because the behavior is such that most people don't go beyond the first page of Google. So let's assume I'm on Google now. Let's go to Google. This is Google now. I've searched for something on Google. If you look at the bottom of the page, you'll see there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Most people do not go past page 1. So page 1 is the holy grail of businesses. Okay, everybody wants to be on page 1. All right. Sorry, just a moment, please. All right. Sorry for that. Are we together? Hello, can you all hear me?
Yes,
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 we
we
are
can hear
here.
you.
Oh, okay. All right. So we're talking about search engine optimization. Okay. So what's that? So it's to make sure that you can actually rank on the first page, okay, of Google. And that's one of the strategies that you need to have. So if you have a website, search engine optimization is very key. Secondly is your social media marketing. All right. So you should have a presence on Facebook. You should have a presence on Instagram, on TikTok, on LinkedIn, on all those pages. Okay. You should have a presence on any of those pages and all of those pages. So if you don't have somebody who's dedicated to that task, you should. If it's something you want to do yourself, then yes, you should do that as well. But the most important thing is the regularity. So it doesn't have to be every day, but let's assume it's once a week. You want to be able to post, make sure it's once a week, okay? At a certain point in time, people already will start to even expect it, because if you are posting every Mondays, before you know it, somehow subconsciously, people will be expecting to see something new on Monday. So, but just make sure it's regular, okay? And there are a lot of ways to ensure that you can post the same thing on all platforms. All right, so that's one of the things that you need to make sure that you do. Post high quality photos of your signature dishes. You can share your customer reviews online. You can run targeted ads to attract food lovers in your area, okay? Then there's email marketing. Now, as I've said before, email marketing is very good, but I recommend it for big restaurants. If you are just starting or you are starting small, I wouldn't advise you to start with this yet, okay? Unless you want to send the emails manually, and that's a lot of effort. But there are automated ways of working with email marketing, but it's a very effective form of marketing, especially if you have a lot of business people around your area. Because usually for people that work, the first thing they do as soon as they come to the office or it's time for them to work, the first thing they check is their email. So you can imagine if every day, as soon as they're opening their email, the first thing that meets their eyes is an email from your restaurant saying, oh, once you're tired, please come and meet us, or, you know, just something new about your restaurant. So it's a very, very effective form of marketing. As long as people are having Gmail accounts, and right now Gmail is connected to every Android phone, as long as people are having Yahoo mails, definitely you have a huge opportunity to get a lot of clients. Then paid advertising, okay, pay per click. Now, for some of you who joined this class, I'm sure you may have seen an advert, okay, that was talking about this class, and that's what made you join. And that's a form of advertising. Okay, Facebook, Instagram, all these companies, they have their database of people. Millions, in fact, billions, well, millions of people are using their platforms. And so they have this database of people. They know their behaviors. So they take away that stress from you. You pay them, and they will in turn show your adverts to the people who matter or who might be interested. So if you have a restaurant, for example, and you want to run a Facebook ad concerning your restaurant, so you pay Facebook, you give Facebook money, say, Facebook, please, I want you to advertise my restaurant to people in so area, and these are the kind of people that I want you to advertise to. Facebook knows every single person that falls into that category, and they will advertise it to those people. So I'm sure as you're scrolling through your phone, you will suddenly see an advert. It is not by mistake the advert appeared on your phone. Somebody is targeting you. So you are falling into the category of somebody's ad, and that's why you are seeing that particular advert. Okay, and then you now click on it, you find out more, and if you are interested, you come. So paid advertising is another very, very powerful way of getting new clients. So for example, you can use Google Ads for terms like best restaurants in Victoria Island, or you can run a Facebook ad promoting a limited time offer. All right, so digital marketing channels. Okay, so we've talked about having different channels, and you need to create what you call valuable content. So whether it's blogs or videos or guides that attract and engage your audience, that's definitely what you should do. Okay, it builds trust. It establishes your restaurant as an authority in your location. All right, so what are the ways in which you can do that? One of the channels, a very important one, is Google My Business. Okay, Google My Business is very important. So for example, we were talking about this Lady Bell restaurant. Okay, this Lady Bell restaurant and lounge. So let's Google it. Okay, Lady Bell restaurant and lounge. Lady Bell restaurant and lounge. Okay, Lady Bell. So on the right hand side, I hope you guys can still see my screen. Can you still
Yes,
see my
sir.
screen?
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
All right. So, all right. Okay. So on the right-hand side, you can see besides everything here that's showing, because right now it's showing you their Instagram, it's showing you their website, okay, it's showing you their Facebook, okay, on the left-hand side. On the right-hand side is also showing you the different, this is the Google My Business aspect of it, okay? It's showing you the Google aspect of it. So you can see Lady Bell Restaurant and Lounge is showing you the website, directions, their address, the phone number, the hours, and then it even gives you the popular times, okay, where people usually come around, and then reviews, okay. So people will review it, they will talk about it. So this is very, very important. It helps with visibility, okay. It gives like a snapshot picture of your website without, or of your business without people even having to check out your website. So Google My Business is very important. It's free to sign up. Okay. So the only thing is you must have a physical presence. Okay. You can't do a virtual thing. So you must take snapshots of your business, send across to them, put in your details, and then you'll be able to, you know, do all that. So Google My Business is free. Canva is another very important tool. So for example, this is by Canva. And as I said, we design a lot of things for clients. So Canva is a graphic design tool. So whether it's flyers you want to design, or it's videos, or it's banners, Canva is the #1 place to go to. I highly recommend it. So instead of if you have some graphic design skills, instead of paying a graphic designer, well, you should, if you know you don't have. But if you can do stuff yourself, or you have somebody amongst your staff who is capable of doing that, then you can use Canva to design a lot of nice content. Okay. Canva is also free, though there's the paid version as well, which will give you access to more features. So for example, I just typed in restaurant, and you can see there are a lot of templates that you can choose. Some of them are photos, some of them are videos. You can see that this one is a video, this one is supposed to be a flyer, okay, Asian food. So you can see there's so many food related posters and stuff that you can use. As a matter of fact, you have about 20,000 templates of restaurant or food related content that you can easily take and use. Okay, some of them you cannot gain access to them until you pay for the pro version, but there's the free version that you can use a lot of stuff. Okay, so this is, a very fantastic tool that you can use for your digital marketing systems. Then you also have other tools and resources such as Hootsuite. Okay, this is a social media marketing tool. All right, so you have Hootsuite. Hootsuite is a social media marketing tool which you can use to schedule posts across multiple platforms. So some businesses decide to focus on just one platform, maybe like Instagram or like LinkedIn. They just focus on that particular platform, and that's where they are. Okay, but you can focus on several platforms, and Hootsuite will help you to do that. So all you need to do is just have your post or your picture, and it will post on all the different platforms that are already configured on it. Then you have Google Analytics. Now this is diving a little bit deeper, but definitely this helps you to track your website traffic and user behavior. Okay, so we're talking about the fact that we're talking about cookies and how businesses track users. So this is where Google Analytics comes into play. Okay, then MailChimp, this is my favorite in terms of email marketing. So if you ever decide to use email marketing for your business, MailChimp is a very good one to use. It's pretty expensive, but the returns make a lot of sense. But as I said, for companies who are already big, or for restaurants who are big, I would highly recommend an email marketing. If you are starting out, you don't really need to start with email marketing just yet. You can just limit yourselves to the Facebook channels, the Instagram, the TikTok, the YouTube, and all that. Then keywords everywhere. Okay, this helps you in terms of knowing what sort of keywords are people typing into Google. Okay, they help you to be able to know what people are typing in and to ensure that those words that are being typed in will also come towards your restaurant. Okay, at least they will bring out your restaurant. Okay, so a successful restaurant marketing campaign. There was a successful restaurant in Lagos that faced challenges with attracting customers during off-peak times. So despite offering great food and excellent service, the restaurant struggled to reach its target audience. The management decided to implement a digital marketing strategy focusing on social media, email marketing, and paid ads to increase visibility and drive traffic during slower periods. So they implemented a social media strategy. They made sure they posted a lot of nice pictures, the ambience of the place. They got a lot of influencers to promote their business. They ran some ads and they targeted people within their own environment. But I wouldn't say you should just target only those around your environment. I know of people, and I'm sure you know of some people too, who are ready to travel to the ends of the earth just to eat good food. If the place makes a lot of sense, they are ready to travel. I know back then, growing up, it's just that the roads are not safe right now. My dad then had a couple of friends. They were based, I was in Kaduna then, and they were based in Abuja then. They would travel all the way from Abuja almost every other day just to come and hang out with my dad at a certain restaurant. So they had their place that they went to, and the woman's food was renowned. Everybody knew about it. So even in other states, so people would travel just to come and eat. Okay, so I wouldn't say you should just limit it to your particular vicinity, but know what strategy you have, and then you can expand it even beyond the people that are close to you. Email marketing, the business created a personalized email campaign offering a 50% discount for repeat customers. So whatever discounts you can think of, for your digital marketing campaign, definitely implement them as long as it's bringing customers to your business. Okay, they ran paid ads. Okay, and these ads, they highlighted the restaurant's unique features, okay, and dishes. And the result was that there was an increase in foot traffic. There was a 30% increase in reservations and walk-ins. There was higher engagement on social media. Okay, there was improved revenue, of course, by 25%. Okay, and there was a reduced dependency on third-party delivery platforms. Okay, so visual storytelling is very important, and it's always important to have all these things in place. All right, so at this time, unfortunately, I have just an hour, so I'll just give about 10 minutes for any questions concerning what we've talked about, and let me hear what you have to say, and I hope everything I've said has been of benefit. All right, so the floor is open. If you have any questions concerning everything I've said, I hope you've been able to hear me very clearly, at least for those of you who can, and I hope everything I've said has been on point. Hello, are we all here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir, I can hear you. Let's ask question. Nobody has question? It means everything was well understood.
Yeah, good evening, sir. Thank you so much for the training.
Yes, sir, it's well understood.
Yeah. So what I just needed to clear about is some of those names they have for the marketing tools. We say I'm hearing some of them for the first time. Then how to identify them, get them to give up. Hello, can you hear me?
Hello, sir. Can you get his question? Okay, he's coming back. So sorry, I'm trying to reach him.
Oh.
Let me know what. Okay, all right. Sir, can you hear me? Hello?
We can hear you, man.
We can hear you, ma.
Yeah, I'm getting across to him, please. Okay, I don't know, he's yet to come back. I think what we'll do is that his slides that he was using for the class, he'll share with us in the group so that we'll be able to read over, and then you can still ask your questions even in the class. I don't know if that is okay by us. I will leave the class open.
Yeah,
So drop the
yeah,
question.
for
He's
now.
also he's an admin in the class, though he's trying to join the class again. Let's just give him a few minutes. But in case he's not able to, we can still drop our questions in the WhatsApp group, and then the slides he will share it with us. But he's trying to join.
Okay, but is it possible that we have the soft copy of the note aside from the YouTube link that usually shared?
Hey, Ross, hey.
Okay. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah, I'm hearing you.
Yes, we can
Okay.
hear you, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, sorry, I had to use a different profile. Okay, so the question, could you repeat the question, please?
Okay, so I was trying to ask about some of the marketing tools that you mentioned, like for the email marketing and the rest. I think
Yes.
there are just few of it that I'm familiar with, the marketing tools of the Canva and the likes of the Facebook and all of that. But there are some
Okay.
specific tools like Hub for marketing, like the one for the Google all of that. So I'm asking, I was actually hoping that we're going to see the app, what it looks like for identification in case we want to try out what we learn. And so that's about that. And also, I'm also asking if possible, we have a soft copy of a note of this lecture in order to put it to act also.
Okay. So that's fine. Yeah. Okay. We are actually, after this program, we're actually going to have a course for digital marketing for hospitality professionals. So that's coming up after this. So
hello, I can't hear you again.
So sorry, it looks like he's battling with the network on the other profile. Okay, what you're saying is that after this class, the next one that is coming up is going to be digital marketing for hospitality managers. Understand? And then for the notes you are talking about, yes, there's going to be a PDF. We'll drop it probably tomorrow. We'll drop it tomorrow in the class so that everybody can download it, keep it safe, so that you can always read through. All that has been dropped and the ones that we have not even dropped is still going to be inside the PDF. So you can always find time to read through. And then for the slides, I will ask him to share it with us also. He will drop it in the group as a PDF so that we can all go over it. And probably I will encourage that we try to be part of the hospitality, the digital marketing for hospitality managers. I think it will help us to push forward our businesses and bring it to light. So I don't know if that is okay.
Yeah, it seems okay. It looks okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but in case you still have questions concerning this class, just feel free. The group will be left open. Drop your questions in the group. He's an admin in the group. He will also respond to them, and I'm also there. I will respond to the one that concerns me. And I think with that we should be able to move forward. So I think we are done. The class is just supposed to be for an hour. So let's say tomorrow, after tomorrow, we'll just have a WhatsApp class tomorrow. It's very short. It's on leadership. You understand how you put in your leadership skill in order to manage your restaurants properly. And then after that, we'll drop the PDF notes of everything. And then we'll still have some notes on this particular topic that he has taken and also his own slides. And then after that, we'll give you time to read probably a day to go through what you've learned, and then we'll drop the link for the final exams. So as you finish writing your exams, you post your score, screenshots your score, post it in the WhatsApp group, and then we'll send your certificate to your emails. I think somebody's dropped a message. Let me check that. Okay, Mr. David, I understand, but that's the truth is that for every resource person you bring in to give you, every professional you are bringing, you actually have to pay for their knowledge. You understand? So I understand what you are saying. We will look into it anyway. Let's see how it goes. We'll look into it. But I don't know if we can actually go lower than this. But let's see how it goes. That has been seen. Let's see how it goes, sir. Mr. David, did you get me?
I think I support the message as well. And the more affordable it is, the more you get crowd, more people will join. That's just the honest truth. Then it's just
Well,
brand awareness.
it's okay. Let's see how it goes. We are going to sit on that. I will look at it before we bring out the flyer. But I think the flyer should be ready by tomorrow or next. So next after the exam. Sorry, the flyer should be ready so that we can. And you can also be someone referring others to join our training. That's if you are benefiting from it. If you have really learned something, at least you can do well by bringing in another person.
Definitely bring people in. But the way of bringing people in, people will not want to listen to any big money. It's just fear of we want to pay the sacrifice. Some people will not want. So that's about that. And then the exam, I hope it's not very tricky, critical exam.
It's just objective questions and they are not difficult. It's what we have done.
Okay.
Mr. David, we are going to be getting a certificate only. All right. Thank you very much, everyone. Thank you so much. So we are going to call it a day so that we can have the remaining time to go through other things that we're doing and also read what we have done before. I can equally see probably we'll use today and read the PDF. Let me see whether I can drop it today. So that we'll read through it. But we'll have
Thanks,
a class
ma'am.
tomorrow. Yes, so that we can read through and then we can drop the link below.
Okay, that's okay.
Okay, let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. Thank you so much, everyone, and good night.
Thank you too.
Bye.
Bye bye.
Thanks, ma'am.
This can have is a single one.